when we're tainted, even when we're stained with imperfection and a tendency to do the wrong thing, the non-ja thing, we can still do the good thing. We still have that overriding sense of right that pushes us through at times, and we do it. And then other times we fail and we feel bad about it. You never feel bad about doing right, right? We only feel bad when we do the bad, because we know it's not right. So you should think about that. And how do you feel? How do you feel about the things you're doing? Is it making you sad? Well, then you're probably doing something wrong. So your feelings will tell you at times, even if you don't admit it, you can see it and override your sense of delusion by thinking about how you feel. Sometimes we self-delude, we self-confuse because we don't want to deal with reality. And we confuse ourselves away from the things we know we need to address, so we don't have to. And then it just stays around and burdens us until we do. So if something's bothering you and your feelings are off, they can be a sign that something's wrong with you. You're doing something wrong, and you're creating this conflict within yourself, this emotional turmoil, because you refuse to do the right thing. Doesn't mean you can't make mistakes. It just means sometimes it's not about the mistake and then working your way back from the mistake. Sometimes people just have a hard time doing the right thing. It just is hard for some people, or maybe even for us at times, because we're not used to some things. And so until you break through and actually start doing that kind of self-analysis, or getting a sense of what's really going on with you and whether or not you're doing what you should be doing and whether that's why you're happy or not happy, until you take that step and start to evaluate what you're doing and why you feel the way you do, you're just going to exist in this constant turmoil because you're not recognizing the reason why you feel that way and analyzing your feelings to determine the changes that probably you should make. We all need to make changes at times, and our feelings, even though they can deceive us, they can tell us something is wrong, or sometimes they can tell us something is right. We still have to evaluate it. We don't surrender our entire decision making to our feelings, but they can be a part of our decision making process. And then we use reason and logic, and we take a look at the objective facts. Objective facts are things outside of you, like an object. Subjective views are inside you. You're the subject. You see within yourself something, a certain point of view. It either matches the objective fact, or it's your own interpretation or opinion about the fact. Some people's interpretations and opinions about the fact are not correct, so their view is subjective. If their views and opinions about the objective fact outside of them are correct, then they're not basing it on their internal views. They're basing it on the external facts surrounding the object. So when we deal with other people, that's how we have to view them. They're an object in the sense that they're not us. Okay? We cannot try to help people based on how we feel. We have to look and see, how do they feel? Why does that person feel that way? What's making them do that? Are they just irrational and not aware of what they're doing? Or is there some reason why they feel that way? You have to find out. That's the only way you're going to be able to get to the bottom of some of these emotional difficulties or relational issues, is to first analyze yourself to figure out why you feel that way. What is going on with you internally? Then you have to determine what is going on with the other person before you judge them, or if you're going to show them mercy, you've got to try to understand what's happening. And then you can make the right decision. But you cannot just use your subjective view and apply it to an object and think that's going to be the same all the time. So you must self-analyze when it comes to determining the way you feel and why. And then you must objectively analyze when it comes to trying to work with other people to figure out why they're feeling or acting a certain way. Because it's not you. How could it be subjective? You can only be subjective about you. Or if you're going to make an opinion about somebody without considering the objective facts, you can still do that, but it's not correct. So we really need to start self-analyzing more, and then being more aware of other people and why they're doing what they do.